Hey everyone, good evening, and welcome to Lost Caravan here.
Oh, it came
on
through
this
in the
place. What did it come through in the? Okay, good. Don't read the captions.
Don't read the captions.
Don't read
Don't,
the.
don't read the captions. We don't put them up there for any good reason.
Pay no attention
for
to the
us,
stuff
that's
we
not
were
for
talking
you.
about before we started. We're just glad you're here as a part of Caravan of Cthulhu Week, and we've been playing Call of Cthulhu all week. But then, right in the middle of that Eldritch sandwich, Eldritch, right in the middle of that Eldritch is our season 2 premiere of Delta Green Impossible Landscapes. Yay!
Pull on up,
Yay!
get yourself a little hoagie, a little Eldritch sandwich, a little
Get an
Arnold
Eldritch
Palmer.
sandwich. It'll be delicious, and we're glad that you could join us. We have most of MCell with us today, with one surprise person. You'll see that one of these things is not on the promo poster, but we'll get to that eventually. Before we get started, we want to thank our sponsors, Epidemic Sound. I use Epidemic Sound when I'm making music or sound effects for this game, and so all the sounds that you're going to hear are from Epidemic Sound. We appreciate them so very, very much. Also, just before we get started and meet our players, we want everyone to know that this is a horror game with likely disturbing content. This season, it is guaranteed to contain violence, death, surreal horror, government officials, insanity, both as a mechanic and as a narrative tool, and psychiatric hospitals. And that's like for starters. So if those aren't your jam, that's okay. We understand. Please take care of yourselves. We're all taking care of each other. We know how that goes. Viewer discretion is advised.
You've seen the captions. We're taking good care of each other.
We are taking great care of each other in the green room, the digital green room backstage. Let's go around and we're going to meet our agents for tonight's episode. We'll go around to everyone. Tell me who you are, what your name is. Oh gosh, I'll go last. Who you are, what your name is, pronouns if you care to use those, and then tell us, I don't know, something about your agent. He doesn't have to go into great detail, but something you're looking forward to this season, or something you're excited about, or scared about, or anxious about, whatever. And we'll start counterclockwise so we can end with who. So first, we'll go down to Colin. Colin, as Agent Magnolia. Colin, welcome back, my good friend.
Hi, buddy. Hold on, I gotta unmagnolia myself.
There you go.
Well, hello. Hi,
That's
I'm
better.
Colin. Yeah, it's great to see you. People think I do cosplay and costumes. I just change glasses. That's literally all I fucking have. I just change my glasses.
Mhm.
So this is Colin. Hi, I'm Colin. I'm at Colonomicon in all the places, and very pleased to be back with my best good friends of my Delta Green crew. We got the returning faces here. I got my Turk down there who's looking fine in that firefighter t-shirt, by the way. If I can say so myself.
Oh, good looking. Thank you for your service, sir.
Thank you for your service.
There it
Can't wait
goes.
for the calendar. Oh,
Oh,
God.
listen, let me tell you, it's definitely hot in here, mister, so you might as well walk out 5 minutes back here. You got a fire to put out soon.
Could you come maybe bust down my door?
Please.
Jaws of life.
So I know this is a horror game, folks, but also a decent proportion of this game is making Turk blush, and we've gotten very, very good at it.
Which is a nice relief to everyone who's watching in chat, because they've seen Turk torture people all week long in Call of Cthulhu games.
We torture
called
him just in a
karma.
very different way.
Mhm.
Did you just gloss up, Liv? Did you just add a little? Oh, honey, jeez. Take it easy on me. All right. So yeah, it's great to be back with my dear good friend. You too, Justin. Oh God, everybody's
Just chapstick.
Right. So yeah, it's wonderful to be back. We have been having some great talks behind the scenes about what our new characters are. I think new. I have questions. I know I'm new. I know that I'm playing somebody new. I know
All
that
will
Turk's
be
playing somebody
revealed.
new. All will be revealed in time. And the new guy I'm playing, if you tuned in last season, first of all, thank you. You're a delight. We're very glad that you got to see it. You also, if you tuned in last season, know that the people that we played last season, a lot of them didn't turn out so great at the end of that season. Among them being my dear beloved boy, Agent Mythic, who is currently lost to the King in Yellow and will not be coming back this season. But who will be coming back is now. Excuse me. Colin has to go away now, so we're just gonna.
Can we talk to Agent Magnolia? Curious.
Why, yes, sir, you most certainly can. Yeah. So
Thank you.
I'll be playing Agent Magnolia, who is a veteran of foreign war. I've done 2 tours in Iraq and 1 in Afghanistan, and I'm back home now and got injured a bit, but now I'm kind of just home. I got myself my honorable discharge, and I'd say I mostly spend my time. I like to watch horse racing. Big fan of horse racing. I like to gamble occasionally, not too much though. I go to church on Sunday, and then Saturday morning I usually go to the Golden Corral because they have the best veterans discount. You can mostly find me at the Golden Corral. They know me there. And then also from time to time I go out and investigate demons and supernatural phenomena and whatnot. Yeah,
That too. Sweet.
Yep,
I can't wait to meet him. He seems really sweet.
he's a real nice guy. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
No skeletons in that closet.
Not at all. No.
Great.
He was honorably discharged, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
All honorable and everything. All right, great. Let's move on to a face that I have seen like every night this week with the Cthulhu's. Man, you guys, well, Hoop, you too, but you guys have been busting your high knees, making some great stuff this week. I got to play Call of Cthulhu with Turk on Tuesday as Princess Biscuits, and man, I don't think Turk was ready. I don't think the Eldritch Horrors were ready for Princess Biscuits. But no. Turk, how are you? What do you have to say about yourself? Are you jealous that now I have all your villain points?
Hi, I am. I mean, kind of. I didn't need them. My players just kept making very interesting decisions, so I never really had to turn fate against them. But for those of you who don't know, somehow I've been saying it all week, but I am Turk or Turk accented, if you have the villain points to afford to say that. But I will be playing Agent Maltese. I'm really excited to be back. I think most excited that I don't have to wear a button-down tie and winter jacket in the middle of summer.
You were in uniform every episode last year, and it was great. And now you figured it out. You make.
I get to just like flex out, and and that.
Turk,
You do that? Just maybe,
please.
I didn't catch that. Your camera glitched.
It's too early in the season for this.
Turk. There's
Do that
terms
one more
and
time.
surfaces.
There are both of them. What do we need to know about Agent Maltese?
He's vastly different than Michael. I get to emote this season, which is huge. The best way I could probably put it is that if Michael was a military Rottweiler or like a German Shepherd, Maltese is a golden retriever.
No, buddy.
I
Or
have
a-
just met you, and I love you.
Yeah, or a Maltese, just the
Maltese.
A Maltese poodle.
not quite, but
I can't wait for this golden retriever boy. All right, great. We'll learn more about him later. Let's go on to our third returning agent this season, Liv. There are terms and services, and you're bringing both of them with how cute you
Oh
are.
my gosh. Thank you. That's so
I'm just kidding. There's nothing in
sweet.
there about being cute. in the
From
terms
one
and
hot girl
services.
to another, thank you. Hi, everybody. I'm Liv. I use she, they pronouns, and I will be playing Agent Margin this time around, who uses she, her. Let's see what to say about Agent Margin. She is. We needed a. I don't know why we would need this. I don't know what happened to our characters last season, but I felt like we needed somebody to play our resident specialist, occult specialist, if you will, our literary mind. And so I am turning my page a little bit, and I will be playing Agent Margin, who is a professional author who has an affinity for the occult, I would say.
The unusual, the unnatural.
The unnatural, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that for them. Yeah, I like that. Every good Delta Green teen needs someone like that who maybe has some experience dealing with the dark corners of the world.
You need a person in the chair, and you need a person in the stacks. You need somebody who's got the literary brain.
Yes, indeed. Well, good. I'm glad you're here. And finally, as a surprise to all of you at home, we have 2 more MCell agents who will be joining us in the future. Looney Shaz, Lonnie, and Cyberella will be with us. They can't make it this week, but we'll see them again soon with their MCell agents. So we'll sort of ease into it today and hit it full stride next time. But guesting with us today is Hoop. Hi, Hoop.
Hello.
Tell us about Agent Maury and yourself.
I didn't have to do any of this intro crap. I just get to sit here and listen, and it's great. But yeah, I am playing Agent Maury. I did not come up with the name. That was Elsie, because we all love Dead by Daylight. But Agent Maury is an ATF agent. By this time, I mean, he already had a long and illustrious and decorated career as an ATF agent. And then some things happened in his life, took a career turn, and here he is, kind of on that second half of his life. And now we're here to just help the youngins not get themselves killed. That's what we're here for.
So, yes, that works out great. And so, with all of that in mind, I'm Doc Grimbo. I'm your handler. I use he, she, and they pronouns. And I've been looking forward to this for a really long time. I can't wait for the season to kick off. But before we do that, let me set the mood. We'll put on some music. And then we can get started. One second, let me switch that. One sec. Go to switch it back around. There we go. Deception is a right. Truth is a privilege. Innocence is a luxury. Knowledge is death. Born of the U.S. government's 1928 raid on the degenerate coastal town of Innsmouth, Massachusetts, the covert agency known as Delta Green opposes the forces of darkness with honor, but without glory. They do not exist, but they do the hard work that none of us wants to do. They stand against alien and unnatural forces and then silence them so their influence doesn't spread to the rest of the world. Last season, on Impossible Landscapes, Delta Green's MCell in the year 1995 went looking for a play connected to the disappearance of a young artist in Manhattan. They found so much more. An apartment building that housed a tear in reality, where the tenants seemed odd by day and dangerously unhinged by night. Extra floors of the 3-story building that appeared only after dark, that held countless horrors of their own, testing the agents' sanity and commitment to their mission. That mission left MCell, as we knew it then, in shambles. One agent used her espionage tactics to disappear into the wind. One was left questioning the things that he believed to be true. Another was heavily influenced and fell under the sway of someone called the King in Yellow and a mysterious play. And one was so heavily influenced that he was lost to the night world entirely, seemingly forever. But that was 1995, and the McAllister building is rubble, thanks to Agent Michael and Agent Martini. It is now 2014, almost 20 years since those events. And MCell still exists. They're still active, protecting the Metro New York, the tri-state area, from the strange and unnatural. Currently, we are in the back room of an antiques store in East Brunswick, New Jersey. And we see the following scene unfold. There are three men who are quite obviously in control, standing and aggressively questioning a frightened young college-aged man who is tied to a chair. An older woman who appears to be the shop owner is in one corner cowering, a little bit disturbed by what she'd seen taking place so far. And on a desk, not far from the group, is a small package wrapped in brown paper. This kid who's sitting in the chair, he's skinny. He's got sort of messy hair, not the cool kind of messy with product in it, but he didn't comb it this morning, sort of messy, and he needs a haircut, which leads you to believe he's in college. Most notably, our agents know that he's a student, he's a townie near Princeton University. And they are here investigating a case about a house party that went wrong when three theater majors were found dead with their bodies stuffed into a coat closet after a party. The strangest part about this event is that the faces of each student were swollen to the extreme with exaggerated lumps and ridges contorting their appearances. And in addition to that, all three had their spines ripped out of their back. And so Delta Green was called in. And so Delta Green is currently questioning this gentleman in the chair. And we're going to go around and have a little physical description of our agents who are questioning him. Let us go in the same order. So, Colin, let's start with Magnolia. What does Magnolia look like, and what is he doing? What's his posture?
Magnolia, the description I gave that's extremely flippant but is not inaccurate is take Bradley Cooper, an American Sniper, and add a few more facial scars, and you basically have it. Plus, with the addition, of course, of these awful glasses that were very clearly paid for by the Veterans Administration. He is a broad-shouldered, tall, just strong, very just physically imposing guy. He's about like 6'4", and just beefy. And his thing that I think probably makes this kid Terry, that makes him so unnerving to him is that this guy's being intensely questioned. Magnolia has a pistol out. And he is not. Magnolia is about as still and calm and level as one can possibly be, despite this tense situation. And he is standing. You said that shop owner was cowering in the corner.
She is hovering at the edges of this conversation. Apparently, she was here for the apprehension of Terry, and is sort of got dragged into this. And she's obviously in over her head.
Yep, and Magnolia has his pistol trained on her to make sure that she doesn't get any closer. He has no intention of killing her, but she doesn't need to know that.
Explain why she's so scared.
Yeah, that would be the cowering part. Yeah, and he just has as cool as can be. He's got one hand out, holding up a gun, keeping her at bay, looking over his shoulder at Terry, where Maltese and Maury are standing there. And he just says, "All right, Terry, we're going to try this one more time. Answer their questions."
I've answered all your questions already. I told you everything I know.
Yeah, you see, the problem there is that everything you know is not everything that we need to learn. You see, that's the problem. So I'm going to go ahead and assume that you know a lot more than you're letting on. And that's unfortunate for you. Because you see, these two guys here, I mean, I know I'm the one with the gun, but these two guys could, pretty easily kill you if they really wanted to. And it's really only me that's keeping them back. So I suggest you answer the questions, or else I could just sort of unleash these two to do whatever the hell they want to you. And I don't want to see that happen to you, Terry. That's not what I want to see happen here. But there's a story that ends with you having your fucking skull bashed in. against that wall, maybe. We could just kick you to death. There's all kinds of ways this could go for you, Terry. None of them are good.
I don't want any of that. I mean, I'm trying to cooperate. I'm trying to tell you all the things that you're asking me. I'm trying to answer all your questions. There's, and his eyes, we follow his gaze around the room, and I think he locks on Maury next. Hoop, do you want to give us a physical description for Maury?
Yeah. Older gentleman, hair definitely balding, so you can tell that he just kind of shaved the rest of it. Very fair skin, like salt pepper beard. That's a little bigger than my own. But yeah, also fairly physically imposing. Sleeves, tattoo sleeves up both arms. What the hell's the parcel? Where'd you get it?
I got it here at the auction at the antiques place. Miss Laney over there, and he gestures with his head toward the woman. She was having a grab bag, one of those things where you buy old shipping containers, and you don't know what's inside.
Yeah, I mean, you tell me that some college kid comes in here and says, "Oh, it's a shipping container full of I don't know what," and just comes and buys it.
I don't know. It seemed like fun. Me and my fiance Derek. You see his face sort of lose color as he mentions this guy Derek, who's his fiance, and he says, "Oh God." I mean, when it started. It was like a joke, the mask. He says the mask that was in the container. It was like a funny thing with our friends. Like it's sort of one person would walk around the house wearing the mask.
Where the hell's that mask now?
It's over there. He sort of gestures again at the table where that brown parcel is. I keep it with me all the time, but I don't know where it came from. I mean, we used to have a lot of fun with it. We'd walk around the house, we wear the mask, and whoever's wearing it doesn't talk to the other person. They do the laundry while they're wearing it, or they stand in the shower wearing it, silent. And he sort of looks pleadingly at Agent Maltese. Like he sees some sort of like softness in Maltese. He sort of looks at you with these like apologetic eyes, like he's asking you to help him.
It's definitely a kind of, as opposed to the two stone pieces of Rushmore here, he's definitely reacting to this information like hearing like people wearing masks doing laundry and given a facial journey as I've been trying to do in the background of all this information. With my face this season.
Emoting.
Should I do a physical description of?
Yeah, I would love one.
Because he's definitely. I mean, in comparison, he's definitely the softest looking person here. I mean, he's definitely like active body build. Someone who clearly takes care of themselves and stays active and clearly has an arduous job requiring physical labor, but there's a softness to it in the big kind of caterpillar mustache effect he's got. I mean, it's very like you could probably tell from 10 paces this dude's probably a firefighter. He's got the kind of hair that's almost military, but very clearly just a little bit of style to it, and his apparel is much less. I can fit equipment on here, and I got a call, and so I threw on my my working jeans, kind of thing. He's like his chore clothes, basically. Like once he's done here, he might go out and like get a sandwich or something.
Right.
He's probably clocking in a little bit under the height of these two,
Mhm.
but he's just been kind of standing a little back from the immediate interrogation, looking sympathetic towards the plight of the two, kind of making sure there's a glance and trying to, just with his eyes and less with any words, calm down. What I assume must be
Laney is the shop owner, yeah. Mrs. Laney, it's her last name.
Yeah.
She has a gun pointed at her.
Looking over to Miss Laney, and just like trying to just like calm her. Hopefully, like, hey, it's gonna be okay, but just with eyes, as to not mess with the two big guns. Literally, in some cases here, but
He's trying to
as he
comfort
looks
her with his himbo muscles.
at here,
Yeah.
At here, he's just kind of like, you wore it to do laundry? What
Yeah.
name is that?
It's like, it's fun. Like, you put it around, you stalk around, you don't make any noise, you try to be as quiet as possible.
What kind of mask is that?
It's the best. It's so smooth. Like, and I know what that sounds like, but I've never seen
Weird.
anything as smooth as this mask. Like, I've seen stuff that is like ancient, like old stuff at museums. I've seen old pottery and stuff, and
Enough about the fucking smoothness. Take out my Glock and just kind of like go over to the parcel and just kind of start like pushing to see if I can get it to open.
it's got a little twine. You can pull that, and you sort of like open it with the butt or the barrel of your gun, just sort of like peeling that brown paper side.
You sure you want to do that more?
I'm not gonna touch the fucking thing, but
I mean, like, seeing's half the battle, ain't it?
no, I trust your instincts. You got a damn good head on your shoulders there.
Do you
It works
continue
out.
to get the wrappings off, Maury, or do you stop?
Nah, I'd stop.
Terry looks up at you one more time. He says, "Please, you gotta understand. We never knew that anything bad would happen. I mean, yeah, we got into some weird stuff with it. There was one time, and he sort of looks embarrassed a little bit. How about, just for fun, just because we need some roles here, how about all three of you give me anyone who has humint, give me a humint roll. If you feel like that's not your thing at all, don't worry about it.
Oh, 60 out of 30 for a failure for me.
78 out of 40 for a failure.
Does Maury want to make me a humint
Off to
roll?
a flying fucking start.
Can't believe Magnolia has more.
A 94.
Yeah. He's just acting weird. He's obviously like nervous, but it's very strange the way he's talking about this mask. But he seems hesitant at first, and then he goes on and says, "One time, when me and Derek, we were trying different stuff, and I tied him up, and he would lie there on the floor, and I would walk around him in a circle wearing the mask with the knife. I'm not gonna lie, it was nice.
Did he just say
liked it.
with a knife?
Yeah, a knife, no clothes on. I thought it was great, And Derek was having fun too until I cut him for the first time.
Excuse the hell out of me?
And then again, I came back from the hospital. They said 340 stitches, but he's alive, and the doctors say that his face will get back to how it used to be soon. But it's never going to be as smooth as that mask. And at this point,
Well, Terry, that's about all I needed to hear.
and I think Magnolia, being a good, diligent soldier, turns to look, and as you look to your left where that desk and Mrs. Laney was, the parcel is open.
And
Mrs.
Maury
Laney's not
didn't open it,
standing there
right?
anymore.
Oh,
No, Maury didn't open it, but you hear this intense scream as you look behind you. And Mrs. Laney is standing there wearing this mask. And for all of the horrors that you're about to witness, one thing is true, that mask is smooth. It looks like it was at one point broken into different pieces, but had been reforged and refined over and over. But Mrs. Laney, when she wears it, she looks like a different person, especially with her hand thrust through the skin and the musculature of Agent Maury's back as she grabs onto his spinal column and wrenches it out.
God.
And Agent Maury drops dead in front of you.
Oh, God. Can I shoot her now?
Yes, roll me a
She fucking sub-zeroed him!
Oh my god. What the fuck?
I think she makes a move toward Maury, and like she's ripping his spine out, and by the time she has like fucking Magnolia's already fanned the hammer on his pistol. Like,
Yes, roll me
He's not-
firearms.
he's barely aiming.
Yeah, she's just firing
That is
here.
a success. 32 under. out of
Sweet, I'm
80
gonna spend
if
a
I have-
villain point. Reroll it. I've got so many of them.
Okay, all right, you want to play that
So it's
game?
guaranteed.
Oh my god, I got an 80. I got an 86. The worst possible result.
Your shots go wide, and some of them come close to hitting her, but several of them hit the now unfunctioning corpse of Agent Maury. That's your 86.
I got it. Yeah, for the viewers at home who don't know, our house rule in our Delta Green game
Yeah.
is that 69 is the greatest possible result, and an 86 is the worst possible.
So hero
So-
points will not work. Thank you so much, everybody in chat. Thank you so
Yes,
much.
thank you for encouraging us.
Here's the point: you can't undo an 86.
You just
So,
86
yeah,
Agent Maury.
I put a solid like 3 or 4 shells, and this is a 45 ACP, so like
Okay.
these are big bullets that rip through Agent Maury.
And any suffering that Agent Maury was still experiencing is over now.
That's true. It was a mercy killing.
Yeah, it was mercy killing is right. What is Maltese doing?
Nothing good. Like, definitely like, oh, fuck.
How about both of you make me a sanity check?
Yeah.
I'm adapted to violence.
Oh yeah, never mind. Don't.
Well, yeah, so I got a
Like
95 out of 65.
Maltese, you lose 1 point of sanity.
Okay. I do get to check one incident of sand loss from violence.
There you go.
Alright.
I mean, I'm guessing that Magnolia is quick to fire a second time.
Yeah.
Yeah, this time you don't even have to roll on that. Why don't you roll me the
Fuck you, that's why. 42.
roll me the damage for it? Yeah, just roll me some damage. I think that it should list in the kind of weapon.
Yeah.
Specifically,
My
how much
damage is a D10 for this bad boy, so let's see. Oh, so it's 5% lethality by default.
Oh,
so
great. Okay.
damage D10. 9 damage.
That's great. Okay, you empty. Oh gosh, I don't know. We'll say a handful of more shots. I don't know how much is in that clip, but just bam, 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 bam towards Mrs. Lane, or what used to be
So
Mrs. Lane.
15 are in the clip.
15. Okay, great. You empty the rest of it into her. You know that you've used all your bullets, and most of them most of them catch her in the center mass, and you see like open gaping wounds, but where there should be blood, there is just this sort of like gray mist that breathes out of her body and sort of wraps around her. And you look at her standing there holding Agent Mori's spine. And when you look down at the ground at your friend, at your former co-agent, Agent Mori, you realize that his face is bubbling and contorting and becoming this lumpy, ridged visage. And she pushes past you and leaps across the room with her last remaining life force and knocks Terry to the ground. And is just like pummeling him with these fists. Maltese, what do you do?
At this point, he has scrambled over to what in the business is known as the irons, but in technical terms is a Halligan bar with a axe kind of slotted into it. He's just going to take the Halligan bar part of it and just try and...
Sweet. Roll me
melee weapon?
Melee weapon combat, yeah.
Yeah.
You got stats for
3 out of 50.
That's too beautiful. I won't even spend a villain point on that.
That's nice.
It's a very pretty roll.
So
Gosh, what would damage be on that? We should look it up, huh?
So there is stats for a baseball bat or a rifle butt that I was looking at.
What's the dice for a baseball bat?
It's a D8.
Well, roll me like a D10 then, or a D, yeah.
Well, yeah. If you want a favor, there is one for a wood axe, which is be a D10, or a two-handed sword is a D12. But I can
D10. Roll a D10, I think.
Sure. 6.
Nice. You just launch into action with this. What is it called again?
It's called when the Halligan bar and the axe are fitted together. It's called the irons.
Okay, you take the irons, and you just are like start wailing on her, and eventually she stops moving. And it's at this point, as the two of you are standing over 2 dead bodies, 1 otherworldly artifact, and 1 witness, that we get into what Delta Green's job is really about. And for those of you who were asking earlier, we can sort of transition out as we talk about this. Delta Green is a game that has its roots in Call of Cthulhu. It's a D100 system. Our agents are all employees in some way of the US government, but they also work for this organization, Delta Green, which does not exist. A lot of Delta Green's job is investigating, finding out what's going on, going to the scene of bizarre and unusual things, and putting a stop to them. But the other half of their work is keeping those incidents quiet so they don't reach the general public. I'd love to ask you two, what happens to Terry after this mission?
AI?
Yeah.
I feel like at this point, there's going to be like a cooling period, and Maltese is going to like get up and then like look at Terry still alive, and then look over at Magnolia and just, we have to, Mag. I mean, you be quiet.
Sorry, bud. And he reaches for his. He reaches for another clip and realizes he doesn't have one. He used all of his ammo on that. So he reaches down to his ankle and pulls out a huge combat knife.
Just, oh God. Okay. Let me, I'm real sorry, buddy. And
Terry is barely hanging on to consciousness. His whole body is bruised and broken, and she really ravaged him in those just few seconds, and he's not quite hearing you. What?
And Maltese is just gonna step outside.
It'll just be a minute.
Never usually is.
He looks down at Terry and says, "Hey man, just so you know, It's nothing personal. And then he slits his throat.
And I think that's a good place. We just sort of like.
And there's one thing though. I just want to add what's that.
Yeah, please.
He slits his throat and then he says to himself, 96. And that's.
It's not. Okay. All right. Cool. And we have like a top-down shot that sort of fades up and out of Terry on his back, still tied to the chair, bleeding out, his throat gurgling, and looks at the mask next to him on the ground. And you hear him say, "So smooth." And we fade out. That's what Delta Green's about. That was 1994. Time passes. It is currently August of 2015. Sorry, it was 2014. This is 2015. My mistake. It is August of 2015. And Liv, where are we? What is Margin doing? What does she look like? What is she doing when we meet her for the first time?
Yes. So Margin is a Black woman in her late 40s, I would
With
say.
a dog.
Yeah, I'm so sorry about her. She's going wild. Margin's small companion dog in the corner, just honestly, just the fattest chihuahua that you've ever seen in your life. just like an extra rolled dog. Like there's not even wrinkles because it's just so fat and the tiniest legs sticking out. That's who's yapping in the corner, honestly kind of wheezing the way that like oversized dogs do. And Margin is just like, oh, good, just shit. Shh. I'm working. Mommy's working. And work is really Margin shuffling through. When you're organized, you're an enthusiast. When you're disorganized, you're a hoarder. So Margin is an enthusiast. And so there's just boxes and boxes and piles of documents and paperwork and texts and manuscripts littered across this like fairly nice New York apartment. It's a 1-bedroom apartment. It's New York, so I'm a Bay Area girly myself. Fairly nice means like you're not in the worst part of town, but you're also not in a big space.
Right.
So and that's fine because
Does she usually work from home?
yes, very much so.
Yeah.
There's her personal bedroom, and then there's all of this stuff everywhere, and the only place that is pristine is a large desk facing the windows, because like that's what makes this place so expensive, is the nice view.
Yeah.
A very specific window with a very specific view, I will say that overlooks some of the buildings of the city. And there is a pretty good computer setup. Obviously not the hottest of the hot, not the nicest of the nice, but like somebody, put a lot of care into building this.
Right.
The only thing that seems kind of out of place is this very old looking keyboard, I would say. Like the keyboard is very loud and clacky whenever she types, and that is her space. Going back to her as a person.
Yes.
So sorry.
We're all here for the dog.
I'm so sorry.
Cat's loving it.
She's going wild. Margin is a Black woman in her late 40s. So you're starting to see some like whispers of gray at the temple, and they start to go down because she has her hair braided into like a protective style. So these like very large twists and braids that her hair is like pulled into, and then those braids themselves are swept up into a big messy bun as she maneuvers through this space trying to find a piece of paper that God,
Mhm.
swears was somewhere, and if her dog would just stop goddamn barking, maybe it'd be a little bit easier for her to work.
So she's looking for this piece of paper, and she's moving everything around on her desk. We see someone who is obviously smart, maybe unorganized. Just like any one of us, right? Like all of us neurospicy friends here in reality. But
very much so.
as she's looking, she starts hearing this bzz, bzz, this noise. It's her cell phone, and her cell phone is ringing. And that is not immediately apparent either. It's somewhere in this. Why don't you make me a search roll?
Okay, will do. Searching through my mess.
So D100 system, just like Call of Cthulhu, we try to roll under our target.
The target's 25, so let's fucking
Okay.
see. Success 23!
Okay, excellent, terrific. Not a critical success, so that piece of paper still eludes you. But finally, you see, what kind of phone does she have? Does she have an iPhone? Does she have something else? It's
Ooh.
2015.
It's 2015. Definitely an Android girly.
Okay. She sees it buzzing, and the caller ID comes up, and it's your assistant.
Yeah.
Calling you. And what's your assistant's name?
Elena Ortega.
Elena Ortega. It says Elena.
I look over at the dog. Yeah, she's gonna look over at the dog and she's like, Pookie, be good. Be nice. Do you think it's a good call? Do you think she's calling about something good? We'll
Pookie is mysteriously silent.
yeah, apparently. And Margin will pick up and just say, hello?
Hi, it's Elena. Hi.
I know, your name showed up.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. I'm just calling. First of all, how are you?
Well, you?
I am also doing well. I am on. Excuse me. You hear her juggling something. Hold on. You hear her juggling something in her hands, and she says, "Sorry, I am just picking up your dry cleaning, and because they called me. Apparently, they called you a bunch of times.
I don't know anything about that.
Okay, well, that's what they said. Anyway, that's what they told me, and then they called me. Apparently, they got word that I was your assistant and asked me to come get. So I've got it. And also, I had a call from the publisher again, and they're wondering when those pages for your next chapter will be ready for them to preview.
I am looking for pages right now. I am actually looking for pages right now. So when I find the pages, I can answer that.
Oh, okay, great. Well, in that case, I will not get in your way. I'll be over later today with your dry cleaning, and also I'm going to water your plants if that's okay.
I have plants?
Yes. Okay, bye.
Thank you. I hang up and I throw the phone over my shoulder and I go back to looking for my papers.
Go back, and there it is. There's the paper you've been looking for. Why was this paper so important?
I pick up the paper, and on the piece of paper, there is a description of a girl. A girl, right. Yes, there's a girl. And she is moving through this space. There's something she needs to do and a thing that she needs to attend. She needs to go to a party. A party, right? I'm writing a party scene. I'm writing a party scene for my book. That's right. There's a party.
Back, yeah.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Okay. I have everything back in place. And so I rush back over to my desk. And I lay out the piece of paper, which has just like the messiest scribblings possible all in like a very slanted cursive that's disconnected but connected in some points. And I start writing down and typing what I have written. And even though it's very clearly not a full scene, there's none of the like, you know, when, okay, maybe this is just my style of writing, but like when you write something, you like write and then you think, you're like, okay, and what comes next? Type. Let me go back and fix that. And like you have this process of going back and weighing your options and rereading things. None of that. Like just, I am clued in, I am clocked in, and I am just writing page after page after page after page. And within an extended period of time, I'm not quite sure how long I've been here. Regardless, though, I do think it's extensive. I think it's everything that my publishers are expecting me to turn in.
Yes, very productive afternoon. I think we see this as one of those time-lapse scenes where you're just writing and then the world is speeding up around you. We see a young woman. What does Elena look like? What's a quick description of Elena? She's like 20s.
Yeah, I would say like early to mid 30s. Definitely somebody who has been in this position before, probably been an assistant to other people before. So she's not new to her job. She's a young Latina woman. She's got like bone straight hair, very long. Honestly, tragically, she does not look like she should be my assistant. She very much is taking the vision of like dress for the job that you want, not the job that you have. And she is dressed as if she is the assistant to housewife on
like someone important.
Important. A house on the housewife from the east side, or like some Kardashian, because this is 2015.
Well, she's giving it her all. We appreciate that about
God bless her.
And we see her come in, and she has a few dry cleaner bag outfits over her arm, and she goes and she hangs all those up, and she's goes around, and you see her like talking to Margin, but Margin never really responds, just completely in the zone as she continues to type. We see Elena like talking to the dog and playing with the dog and watering all the plants, and then we see her come in with a pile of mail and set this pile of mail down on the desk, and then we see her say a few things with no response to Margin, and then we watch her go out the door and close it behind her as the sun starts to set outside. And Margin, as you come up for air, you look at this pile of mail on the desk next to you, and next to that pile, there's a FedEx envelope. It was looks like a courier delivered sort of thing. It probably didn't come with the postal service stuff.
I'm gonna go and pick it up.
Okay. It's got one of those little peel off things, you know. All right. And it's addressed to you by name, your real name, not your agent name, obviously. And it's here at your home apartment address. And when you pull it out, it's a little bit odd. It's interesting. It catches your attention. And if you want to turn your attention to this season's evidence board, I'm going to show you what this looks like. Okay? Okay.
Okay.
Go ahead, and I have this season we're using magnets and a dry erase board rather than cork board. But there's that. I'm going to also put it in your journals so all of you can see it. Don't worry if you haven't gotten one yet. But it will be in all of your journals. There we go. It is curious. The front of the card here is sort of this strange stylistic writing and decoration. It appears at first glance to be birthday party invitation. But I think that Margin's eyes go immediately to this green triangle that's embossed in the top center of the invitation. So for those of you who are following along at home, I'll just read it out to you, and I can tell you what it says, because in case you can't zoom in. It says, please join us to celebrate the 51st birthday of our friend, Richard Ziloni, at the Gateway Bridges Restaurant, 9011 Potash Street, Boston, Massachusetts, 02121. And then there's a phone number. There's also separately a little tiny card with time and date. The invitation is for the 1st of September, which is, today is like the 27th of August, so just a few days away, and at 8 p.m. What is Margin's reaction?
Her eyes light up in a way that they probably haven't in like a minute. I think she lives a very solitary life, and so there's not a lot of high points. And this is very exciting.
Yeah. We'll say that Margin has some awareness of Delta Green.
Yes.
And although she wasn't on that mission to receive a document such as this, it's clear what she's being invited to do. She's being activated.
Yes.
She's being invited to this place in Boston. And so, your plans have to change. You gotta change tack and plan a trip. How do you travel? How do you communicate this to Elena? What kind of stuff do you set up at home before you go?
Yeah, absolutely. It's late, so I'm not going to call her, but I do start writing out a series of text messages. And I think Margin's like me, and instead of sending one big text, just sends multiple texts. And starts texting, going on a trip. Please watch after Pookie. Thank you for watering the plants. Feel free to crash, or feel free to stay over. That's what she would say. Feel free to stay over. I will clean before I leave. Do not call. Manuscript completed. Taking vacation. Be back when I'm back.
And then you start sort of going around getting stuff ready, putting stuff in a bag, taking the things that you think that you'll need. We can see Elena responding to your text several times over the course of this, but you're already, in your mind, you've gone to Boston, Massachusetts.
Yeah,
You're
I've
already
said what
gone.
I needed to say. Like, she's always talking about how text messages are a conversation, but really they're more like memos. I don't need to respond to every text message. I got the message.
You say to Pookie.
Literally.
Pookie yaps in agreement, and we'll fade out. Maltese and Magnolia. It has been, let's say, at least a year since Operation Misfortune, the mask incident. What's it been like since then? Do you all keep in touch? I'm gonna say, but let's start with Maltese. On August 28th, where are you? What are you doing?
Well, Cameron would focus in on a firehouse in Jersey City. It's right there. It's right on a busy corner, so there's always something happening. But basically, at the moment, nothing's on fire, literally. So just hanging around. Maltese in particular has his feet up with a plastic Adirondack chair, while he sits his feet up on one of those, like, what should probably be a step ladder kind of situation, but he's just relaxing a little bit on it. It's calm. It's relaxing. He's got a few of his buddies around. They all got a bottle of beer apiece, and there's a smell of barbecue in the air.
Who are Maltese's buddies? Or more specifically, what kind of bonds does he have? This is a mechanic within Delta Green. Who are the bonds in his life? Who does he hang out with most? Who does he care about the most?
So primarily it's like, just the guys. He kind of refers to them in general as the guys. They used to give him shit because his dad's the deputy fire chief of the whole Jersey City Fire Department, and he's the head of this particular ladder. But now they're all cool. I mean, honestly, throw a dartboard at some Italian American names. They all call him Tommy. He calls him Bruno, Chuck, Charles,
Chaz.
Timmy. No, not Chaz. Oh, Chaz is a piece of shit. Chaz is some EMT dude who thinks he can hit on my sister. Fuck Chaz.
Fuck Chaz, dude.
I see Chaz. I'm gonna fucking clean out. I'm gonna take out his lower jaw. I swear.
Oh my god.
I see him.
Such a piece
Oh my
of shit.
god! Yeah, no, keep talking.
He honked his car at Louisa. I swear. I am going to clear out his lower jaw. No questions asked. He shows up at our bar again.
That guy. Yes. What are you watching? Did we say that?
He's not watching anything. Basically, the big doors for the truck is open, and they're all just sitting on their plastic chairs and grilling some food.
Nice. Excellent. So they're all sitting around grilling outside. One of those guys there, probably Charlie. Because Charlie, he's sitting there, and you're all sitting. He says, "So, what else is going on with you? Did you ever talk to that girl that we met at the bar the other day?"
Well, wasn't a lot of talking, but
Oh.
No. I to be fair, I walked her home, and I gave her mom a kiss the next morning. All right, that's all I'll say. That's all
You
I'll
always
say.
got to kiss the mom. All of them are in agreement about this.
Oh, of course, she made me breakfast. Oh, she was a lovely.
Around the corner comes Ricky, who is your best friend.
Yeah. Oh,
Construction
yeah.
worker.
He's basically works at various job sites here in New York City, but is definitely one of the boys, so to speak. There's some distance between him and the others, but I've known him since preschool, probably at St. Bart's. But
Good guy.
he's a good guy. Yeah, he's a good guy. He's a little transient sometimes, but he gets into trouble.
Well, he comes
but
around the
yeah,
corner.
I
He's got a case of Bud Light, and he just he comes around the corner and he goes, "Hey!" He's and all the guys start making the same noise, and he comes up and he sits down next to all of you. Goes, "Oh, hey, hold on, come here," and he reaches. He's got something tucked into the back of his pants. He was so busy carrying the beers and something else, like a bag of groceries or whatever, or snacks or whatever, that he's got something. He pulls it out. He's like, "Yeah, this was on you. There was some guy out front, some FedEx guy," and he pulls this big envelope from his waistband in the bag. He goes, I told him I was you."
Oh, yeah? You believed I was that
He's like, "Oh,
ugly?
yeah, I'm Tommy Fornetti, sure. Yeah, that's me."
Ah, yeah. Suck up on every
It's good.
minute. Yeah. Oh, you want my social security next time? Make sure you can sell it. Hey, come on,
No, I
give
don't
it.
even have a social security number, says Ricky.
What are you talking about, Ricky?
It's how the government tracks you.
You need a social.
Nah, that's how
Rick.
you give them the social security number. The next thing you know, they're in your computer.
Ricky, you're crazy. Ricky, you're crazy.
You say I'm crazy. I'm telling you, the government is watching me when I watch porn, and I'm not gonna stand for that, or sit for that, or lay down, or whatever I'm doing at the time.
I don't. You know what? Less details, more you getting those in the cooler. All right.
Yeah,
And,
right.
he's
Is
gonna
there any in the
start
fridge
getting,
already?
Yeah, of course.
So it's
You
all
think this
beer.
is a nunnery?
You take the FedEx. It is addressed to you, Tommy Fornetti.
I love Turk with emotions and feelings.
This is no. Shut the whole season down.
This is everything.
Shut the season down. This is what we're doing.
It's Ricky and Tommy.
You're just firefighters.
I don't wanna
We're
do
just Jersey
anything
City
else.
firefighters.
Listen, I can't do anything to save my life, but goddamn it, I'm gonna figure it out.
Hey, yeah, you're fine.
Yeah.
Impossible Landscape, Season 2, New York City
Season
Firefighter.
2, hey.
Bada bing.
Season 2, Ladder 49.
It is Ladder Tower 6, to be fair.
Oh,
Engine
okay.
6, Ladder Tower 6, Squad
Listen,
1.
Brooklyn Nine-Nine, who gives a shit, okay? Impossible Landscape.
Oh my gosh! So you,
Yeah, King and Yellow, forget about it.
so you
I thumb open the package, yeah.
and you pull out this thick, kind of fancy-looking invitation. It's the same one that Margin saw earlier, but as soon as you start to slide it out of the envelope, you see the first thing you see as you pull it out is that green triangle. Does Maltese do anything there?
He definitely has a face drop at that, shit, like some vacation's over. Like when you tell a kid you gotta go to school next week.
Mm-hmm. The other guys see you make that face. They're like, "Oh, what's the matter? Did you hear from Linda?" And they all start laughing. Did she send you a FedEx to tell you have a small penis?
No, it's a photocopy of my dick here. They had to get it extra wide.
You look so disappointed. You get some bad
in
customer
landscape.
police.
They
They all start freaking out.
It's just no. Hey, easy. And I quickly want to scroll down to the rest of it.
Okay, and you go on to read it. From first glance, it appears to be an invitation to a birthday party for Richard Zaloni at a place called the Gateway Bridges Restaurant in Boston, Massachusetts. And
I'm frowning because I gotta go up to Boston. All right.
oh, and all groan in unison. Go Mets.
Go Mets.
Fuck the Sox. Fucking gonna go up there and fucking watch Bill Belichick and what's his face, the guy with the model girlfriend, throw a football around with the Pats. Fuck those guys.
Oh, I swear to God, they try to take me to a Pats game. Oh boy.
Why do you gotta go to Boston?
It's a party. Remember I was doing some of that fire training a while back?
You were doing fire training, now you gotta go to a
Well, we the instructor and I, it was nice enough. We bonded. I gave him my number. Yeah.
all
No,
right.
he now he's like, we keep in touch. So he's invited me to his birthday, which is nice, but I should probably go. He was an older guy,
Boston?
Yeah.
For some old guy's birthday party? Who is this guy? They're all craning their necks now to try and get a look at this.
Hey, respect the privacy.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry, Your Majesty.
Yeah, it's a royal documentation or something. Maybe I'm a secret agent, Maybe I got a license to kill.
I mean, it looks pretty fancy. It looks like this guy must be loaded. That's what it is. You're sucking this guy's dick for money.
Hey, it had to be a whole lot of money. But when I inherit the house, you're all welcome to the party.
Yeah, all right, that sounds good. Get a big screen TV.
Oh, you know it.
Justin,
Meanwhile,
Doc,
yes.
Rimbo, all I ask for this season is number one, that you don't make me do any more scenes, because I just want to watch this.
I could watch this all day. I could watch this
Number
all
two.
day.
That you let me and Liv be firefighter NPCs.
Yes.
I think
Please.
so. Here's what our chat needs to know is that Delta Green has this mechanic called bonds. They're the people who are important in your life, and Turk is a good boy who does his character sheets ahead of time. And that's not shade on you, Liv. I'm just saying. I'm doing that.
Was that
And
targeted?
he gets all those bonds in there, and he had Ricky listed as a best friend. I think we should just morph Ricky into your bond with all of these guys.
I think that'd be fine. I can do Ricky and the boys.
Monolithic.
It's
the boys.
It's
just
Ricky
a bond.
O'Malley. It's Ricky
Right,
Martin.
we'll come up with a list of names.
It's Ricky.
Lee Ricardo.
It's Ricky Brown. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, it's
We'll bring him back
Ricardo,
later this
Ricardo,
season.
but we call him
Sure,
Ricky.
sure.
We call him Ricky Spaghetti, actually. It's sort of offensive.
Yeah,
I'm
it's a
Tower
little bit.
6 for I am
There's
Legion.
Ricky Perielli.
Mhm.
And don't forget this Charles, Charlie, Chuck, and Chucky, none of which to be confused with one another.
No,
So-
and they
so,
all hate each other. Sorry.
Meanwhile, at that same time of day in the evening on August the 28th, where is Magnolia? What is he doing?
All I'm going to say is, you thought I was about to say the Golden Corral, didn't you? But I ain't going to say the Golden Corral.
You, sir, are a mystery.
Because he is, in fact, standing in the lobby of a nursing home in Montgomery, Alabama. And because he's a good little soldier, he knows the rules. He's undercover, therefore you do not wear a cover undercover. He has his hat off and he is carrying it like a gentleman. And he has a bag in his left hand, a plastic shopping bag that has takeout containers in it. The bag, of course, says Golden Corral on it.
Of course.
And there are 2 takeout containers in there. And he has a tray of coffees. And he's walking up to the desk, waiting patiently in line to be called forward.
Next. Can I help you?
Oh, hey, Charlene.
Oh, hey, Brad.
Just here to
Did you call
see.
him Brad?
Yeah, she called him Brad. Yeah. Just here to see Grandpa.
Oh, yeah, sure. He's expecting you. Well, as much as he can. I mean, he'll be happy to see you.
Great. Yeah, is he in the day room or is he up?
Something she doesn't even listen. Something smells good. What's in the bag?
Oh, just some hotcakes. Yeah, he likes.
Oh gosh, I want some. I need to go out. I need to get Daryl to take me out to Gold Corral. I haven't been to
Touch
Gold
these,
Corral.
I'll have to kill you.
The joke does not land, and she says, "Oh, yeah, uh-huh." I won't.
Yeah,
I won't
he
touch
didn't say
him.
it in a jokey way either.
No. Anyways, your dad's he's back there. Or your grandpa. Sorry, you go on through. I'll buzz you in.
Thank you, Charlene. See you. Well, probably later this week.
I love Charlene and Daryl. Just creating this whole world. And she buzzes you, and you go through this sort of door that they keep locked so the patients here don't leave by mistake. And go down this long corridor that you've been down several times before, and making your way past rooms, most of which
Making my way.
past rooms, most of which are filled with people that you've seen before. Some people, they're not there anymore. There's new people in there. That's how assisted living homes work. And eventually you get to your grandfather's room. You're right outside. The door's open.
He leans his head in and just knocks very softly and says, "Peepaw, you awake?"
Huh? Who's that?
It's Bradley Ethan, sir.
Bradley, come in, boy.
All right, and he comes in very stiff, and kind of like stands at the foot of his bed and almost sort of waits to be invited to sit down.
There is a pregnant pause. And Mr. Bradley is trying to figure out is he sort of testing you and your manners, or is he somewhere else? You know? But after a few seconds, he says, "Well, sit down. Did you bring my hotcakes?"
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I did. I brought you some coffee as well.
Oh, no, can't have coffee. It goes right through me.
Peepaw, everything goes right through you. You may as well enjoy it.
Fair enough. Give me some coffee.
Yes, sir. I brought the half and halves. I can't remember. Do you like the cream and the sugar?
Nurses have me on the Splenda.
Oh, that's disgusting. Yeah, have some real
They
sugar.
can't have sugar anymore because of my diabetes.
Peepaw, you're 96 years old. Just enjoy the damn sugar.
That's what I keep telling them. Where's your mother? He looks around.
Remember, Peepaw? We talked about this last time. Mama passed away 4 years ago.
There's a moment, and he says, "Of course, yeah, I remember. Yeah, sad. It was sad. You come to visit me?"
Yes, I do, sir. Yes. I think I'm the only one comes visit you, Peepaw.
You got my hotcakes?
They're in front of you, sir.
I know. Takes out a plastic fork and a knife and starts eating them. I love hotcakes.
Yeah,
Where you been, boy?
Yes, sir.
What have you been doing?
Well, I've been serving overseas, Peepaw, remember?
That's right. Protecting our country.
Yep. Yes, sir. Afghanistan, Iraq.
Freedom.
Yes, sir. Freedom indeed. Would you like to hear some stories, sir?
What?
Would you like to hear a story from Iraq, sir?
Yeah, of course. I want to hear a story. Tell me a story of you in your army days. I was in the army.
Yes, sir. You were World War II.
Now you tell me, boy, but tell me a story.
All right. Well, you enjoy your hotcakes, and I'll tell you about. How about number 76? And he launches into a very graphic story of someone that he killed with his bare hands during his service in Iraq. Someone that he strangled to death, knowing full well that his grandfather won't remember it anyway. And
yeah,
he finishes the story and says, "What do you think of that, Peepaw?"
the nurses have me on the Splenda. They say it's sweet like sugar, but something's wrong with it. Tastes wrong.
It sure is wrong, sir.
How are you? How are you, boy? How are you? How have you been?
Never better, sir. Just passing the time. Now that I'm home from the war.
At that point, there is a knock on the door frame, and Darlene. It was Darlene, right, from the front desk, is standing there. Charlene, sorry, my bad. Charlene's standing there, and she says, "I'm sorry to interrupt. Y'all look like you're having a nice little meal, but Bradley, can I talk to you out here in the hallway, Brad?"
Yes, ma'am. Peep, I'll be right back. All right.
Okay. He keeps on eating his hotcakes.
He reaches for the remote. The Braves are on. If you want to watch some baseball,
He just sort of grunts.
Be right back.
And
What's up, Charlene?
You go in the hallway, and Charlene says, "Well, you know what's the funniest thing? There was just FedEx man here. I don't know how they knew you were here. They must have had to track you down or something. But they had a delivery for you, not for your gramps, but for you." And she hands you this FedEx envelope.
He looks at it. Looks up at her. Yes, that is mighty strange.
It is. Anyway, I thought I'd come back and give it to you, but and I don't mean to be a busybody or anything like that, but in the future, if you could let your, I don't know who that is, your girlfriend or something like that, just let them know, just maybe just send the letters to you at home or something like that.
He looks through her.
And then she sort of like smiles vacantly and leans toward the room and says, "How's those hot cakes?" And your grandpa goes, "I love hot cakes." "Well, that's nice, Mr. Barnes," she says.
He loves hot cakes.
And she says, "I'll be right back with some of that Splenda for your coffee. I know how much you like it."
Don't you bring the Splenda to my grandfather.
Make me a persuade check.
Yeah. Can I? Is
Are
there
you-
like an
listen,
intimidate
I'm not
mechanic?
going to tell you how to do your job. Like, are you sure that's persuade? Are you sure
Is that
that's not like?
Yeah. Does this game have a like?
It doesn't have intimidate.
Intimidate?
Persuade covers intimidate and deception and all those things. It's just
I think you
kind
should
of
use
one skill for all
artillery.
convincing. Unless you want to use
Can
a
I-
different skill and tell me how you do it. Like
I want to
demolitions.
I want to scare her.
Artillery.
Artillery. You should use artillery.
I
Pull
wanna
out the
scare her.
Glock.
I'm not going to pull a gun, but I want to use my hulking physical frame to like loom over her.
To intimidate her?
Yeah.
I mean, if you really want, you could do, I guess, humint. Or
Which is
do you want to use
not gonna-
athletics to pop your pecs, as you said?
I'll use human. I'm slightly better at athletics, but I'll use human. Let's see
Okay.
if that
You're not
works.
bad at persuade either.
Oh really? Am I not?
No.
I just assume I have, ladies and gentlemen at home, I have 5 charisma. I'm real bad. Oh yeah, I'm actually better at persuade than all the things I just said.
That can because
let's just-
that wraps intimidation up into it. I think you
Okay,
get
fair
what you
enough.
want.
And I persuade. Yeah, I succeed. 34 under a 60.
And she says,
You're gonna bring my grandfather sugar.
"That- "Oh, but I mean, what? He's
Sugar.
diabetes. The doc. I'll get some sugar."
Thank you, Charlene.
You're welcome, Brad. And you see, like,
He holds
this
the smile
chill-
way too long.
She is a little bit unnerved by Brad, and you can sort of get the impression this isn't the first time. She goes and off to fetch it, and that's when I assume that Brad opens the envelope. Or do you take it somewhere else?
He goes right down. He sits back next down to Peepaw and opens it up. And he just rips the top right off.
What's that?
I think it's a wedding invitation, Peepaw.
A wedding invitation. Waste of
Sure
damn
looks like
time. And go and you buy him a blender. Or they're gonna go return it and use the money for drugs.
That's a valid concern, PayPal.
You pull it out, and there's that invitation again, and identical to all the others on this sort of heavy embossed paper. The first thing that you see is the Delta Green symbol, that green triangle, and then the invitation. And I'll read it one more time, and we'll give Magnolia time over a quick break to process it. But for those of you following along at home, all of our agents have received an invitation that they read as an activation for Delta Green. And it says, please join us to celebrate the 51st birthday of our friend Richard Zaloni at the Gateway Bridges Restaurant, 9011 Potash Street, Boston, Massachusetts, 02121. As a phone number. It also lists the date on a separate piece of paper of this party as 8 p.m. on September 1st, which is in 3 days. And I think that's where we'll take our break. Chat, we see you. We appreciate you hanging in and watching. I love these characters. We are off to a start. We're going to see where it goes from here, but I can't wait to see what we get up to. So we're going to take a quick break, 10, 15 minutes. Drinks, whatever else you need to do, go to the bathroom, whatever. Go get a Bud Light from your fridge full of beer, and
Just crack one open with the boys. It's us. We're the boys.
Call Ricky.
We're the boys.
We're the boys.
The
Really
boys.
soon. Come back in 15. Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to our Season 2 premiere of Delta Green's Impossible Landscapes here on Lost Caravan RPG, a part of Caravan of Cthulhu Week. Before I forget, because I'll probably be all blah by the end of the episode, but we've got more games coming up this week. Turk, do you know what any of those are off the top of your head? It's like every night, right?
Yes, every night until Sunday. We have one game tomorrow, and then 2 games Saturday, 2 games Sunday.
All right. Sounds like a lot. Y'all show some love if you get the chance to hoop. And Turk, we all know Turk is modest and hoop is dead, but just like the amount of work that you guys are putting into running these games all week long, and they're spectacular. They're all really great. So be sure to spread the word and tell folks about it. We're also raising money tonight, which I forgot to mention at the beginning of the episode. We're raising money for NAMI, the National Alliance. Wait, what is it? Dang it, I had it.
On mental illness.
Mental illness, that's what it is. Part of the reason we're doing that during Caravan of Cthulhu Week is because insanity is a mechanic that we use in games, so we want to do so with care, knowing that this is fantasy insanity. It's pretend insanity, but mental illness is a real thing, and that a lot of people struggle with. And not surprisingly, a lot of the folks that I like to play games with most struggle with, just like I do. So that's an important cause for all of us. So we hope that you'll help us raise some money for that. There is a goal coming up, isn't there, where we already passed the one where Hoop has to play a spooky, jumpy, scary game.
We at this point, I want to give a current update. We are at $711.96 raised at the $1,000 mark. It will go not just Hoop playing a scary game with soundboard activated, but I will also be joining Hoop playing a scary game with soundboard activated. And
That's so fun.
I know I run a lot of horror games like as a keeper, but when I am not in control of that, I'll try and sell you on it. My friends used to sit me down in a chair and say, "Here, play Outlast," and I'm like, "Do you guys want to?" I'm like, No. You go.
No.
Yeah, we just want to watch and
so
turn the
fun.
lights.
Sounds like hell. That sounds like my own personal hell.
It was
that's
not
terrible.
fun. It was fun, but it was not fun.
You got hazed by your friends, Turk. Do you need to talk?
They're really good friends.
Are
They're really
they?
good friends. Yes, actually.
Turkey, if it makes you
Are they the boys?
Of course, the boys.
Turkey, if it makes you feel any better, when I was about 18, 19, I went semi-viral on Facebook because my coworkers would post videos of them jump scaring me while I was at work.
No.
Just to make you
Honestly,
feel better.
If you watch, in which you should rewatch the first season. The moment where we have the big knocking sound.
Yeah.
The Turk did.
Turk. That
was fucking
did.
Turk. Turk, this isn't even your game. You're not even a keeper, dog. What are you doing? What are
Stay
you
in your
doing?
lane, Turk.
Too good for your lane. You.
You've had that this whole time and you haven't been using it?
That's
No.
so funny.
'Cause
Why is the bleep funnier than actually cursing?
I don't know. Because you know what it is. Here's my transition, my segue back into the bleep. The bleep is funny because it leaves it up to your imagination to decide what was said.
So
And that's the same reason that
hostile
horror
landscape.
in games works, because all these things that we will describe during this campaign is up to the imagination. And your imagination is oftentimes worse than reality. But speaking of reality, let's get back to 2015. It is August 30th at this point. 31st. Does August have 31? 31, right? Yeah. It's August 31st.
Yes.
And today is the day that conveniently both Magnolia and Margin are set to fly into LaGuardia. Not JFK, LaGuardia. And
Guardia?
yeah,
Wait, really quick. Would Margin fly in, or is Margin already in New York? Oh wait, no.
Margin's already.
Are we flying in New York?
Shoot. Sorry, Boston,
We're
Logan.
going to Logan.
Logan, yeah.
Logan.
Fucking
Hey.
Logan.
Fucking Logan. Margin is going to fly. It is like one of those stupid half-hour plane flights where it takes.
But like, I'm
longer
not
with
gonna.
the
What do
security and
you
all
want
the
me to do? Drive?
Yeah, what am I at? Some sort of peasant?
Yeah.
You're an acclaimed artiste. You're a writer. You fly. So you fly into Logan, which is much nicer than LaGuardia, from my understanding. And not impressed. Got it. And so is Magnolia. And we see Maltese pull up. And where does Maltese park? He park in the ramp? Does he?
Not being a frequent visitor to Boston, and the fact that Logan is built like a Hot Wheels track, he probably just circles a whole bunch until he goes through goes to the gate that he knows that Magnolia is coming out of. Finally, a circle where he can stop before he gets whistled at by
Right.
the rent-a-cop wanting to move people along.
Gotcha. Let's roll a luck check to see how easy that is for you.
Oh, boy.
Logan is a fucking nightmare. It really is. When it
Okay,
comes
It's a
then
Hot
at a
Wheel.
minus
It's a
10.
Hot Wheels track for adults with a minus 10. Even with a minus 10, that would be a success because that would.
I'm going to spend a villain point to make you re-roll it. I'm going to spend one of your villain points to make you re-roll it.
This is actually
yeah.
very true to my Logan experience. The only time I've ever flown in and out of Logan, I almost got into a fist fight with
It's a failure.
woman.
Let's
Gosh,
just
I should make
appreciate
you lose
that
sanity,
folks
but I'm
at
not
home.
going to. If anything, you should lose willpower.
I could lose some willpower from it. Yeah.
Our illustrious GM is using villain points as minor traffic inconveniences.
We got so
Welcome
many.
to our horror game.
Welcome to the horror of picking someone up from the airport. And it's too real.
Killed all my players for this, and now you use it to give me traffic.
But
It's great.
Magnolia's flight was supposed to land 20 minutes ago. And how does Maltese feel about, like, oh, am I late? Is he going to miss me? He knows I'm supposed to be picking him up.
He's trying the burner phone that he knows that has like a very few, like probably one or two numbers of people he's been on a job with.
Hmm.
And he would be like waiting in a section, and I imagine Magnolia might open his phone at some point later and get like "Hey, you here yet? So I'm waiting here in the and he hears a loud whistle like window opens. Hey, I'm waiting for my friend. He's gonna be out here any second. Okay. I'm not parking. I'm stopping and standing. It's a standing zone. In the
Go
standing
Sox.
zone? Fuck the Sox. Fuck the Sox. I'm going to circle around.
As you're on the phone,
Shove it up your
like,
Buckner hole.
Oh! 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 He got
Get him! Get him! Get
him! Oh, he did it! Also, shoving up your Buckner hole will actually get you shot in
Yes.
Boston. That is a dangerous reference to make.
You roll a firearms check. Oh.
So as you circle around, and as you're like calling, Magnolia's like, you still don't see him, and you call him like again to try to get him to come out. You're like in the middle of shouting at somebody. You try to talk on the phone. There's someone else telling you to move along, and Magnolia just like, you don't know. He appeared like a cloud of smoke, and is just like gently knocking on the window.
Jesus, Mother Mary. Closes it. No, hold on. And he gets out. He's like, I got a whole. He comes around. I got a whole like sign thing ready. It's gonna be very. Come on. And he holds out like a little sign, says "Mag" with a little like clearly done in an expo marker, Delta green triangle thing in the corner.
Green triangle in the corner, and at that moment, Margin.
He does have a New York Mets
walking
sticker
towards
or the
like
logo.
rideshare, something like that. This was before they had a designated place, I think, rideshare, most of them. But
it's just
wherever you
it's
think
the
you can get an
Wild
Uber.
West.
Chaos!
Yeah,
Oh my god!
And you see this mountainous himbo of a man holding a sign with the Delta green triangle on it, and another guy standing next to him.
To be fair, Magnolia is probably a bit taller.
I'm the mountain. Yeah.
Yeah, he's
But not
he's
a
the mountain.
himbo.
Not a himbo. No, definitely.
Yeah, one himbo, one mountain, and you see
One
them
himbo,
talking
one
to each
baby
other.
girl.
How about let's have you roll a human check.
Okay.
See if you can get a read on these guys. And are these guys Delta
It's
Green
their
or
fucking vibe, dog. Let's see.
Were you trying to call me Maltese?
Yeah, of course. This place is a fucking loony bin. I mean, they don't know how to drive here. Bunch of massholes. Anyway, I got this little sign, and
gotta move your car?
I got my passenger here. Can't you see? I am helping him with his bags.
Ooh, a success!
Holy shit! And you're terrible at human. That's
I'm
impressive.
so bad at human.
I'm not gonna make you re-roll that because we've got to move the story forward. You hear them talking. Not only that, but you see obviously the sign is for someone named Mag, and then you hear the other one called the other one Maltese, and that's enough for you to sort of like put two and two together. This might be the current incarnation of M-Cell, which you've heard of. You've heard that they operate in cells and all that stuff.
And there's letters for every region. It's fascinating, honestly.
The curious thing here being that M-Cell, as far as you know, operates normally in the tri-state. So usually New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and you're in Boston. So you hear them arguing with this cop, and the cop's like, well, hurry it up. Go Sox. I can't do Boston accents. I got to work on this.
Go Sox.
Go Sox.
Sox.
White Sox?
Yeah.
SAWX.
Sox. White Sox. Hold on a second. And I hold up a hand to the police officer. Hold on a second.
Two of these three men are now very angry.
You see like a full grown black woman as they all turn.
I'm sorry, ma'am. What was that?
The White Sox?
I have no idea what's going on right now.
Listen, pal, you got to move this car.
I'm moving it. I am moving it. Do you not see the effort?
I'm gonna turn to this man that's yelling to move the car. Yeah, the cop. I look at the cop. I'm like, yeah, man, can you please put my bags in the car?
Make me a persuade check.
Okay.
Might car?
That's a success.
Ooh, that is a success.
It's a
Mhm.
spicy success.
It's a spicy success. And he says, well, he pauses. Well, yeah, if it'll get you in this car, and he points to the car that these guys are standing outside of.
I mean, yes, if I turn to the other gentleman, I'm like, if my bags are in the car, we can leave, yes?
He's already putting bags in the
Mag
car.
and Maltese, yeah, as he's putting the cars. Mag and Maltese, yes?
Yeah.
Margin.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah. Of course. Pull around
And
the
Police
the car.
officer sort of sticks his head back out after putting the bags. He goes, and I move your car.
He looks
Oh.
straight ahead.
You think you're fucking clever? You want some points there?
He
Maybe it'll
looks
help the
straight ahead.
season.
He looks straight through at Margin, like trying to figure out this person, and without breaking eye contact, hands his bag to the cop.
The cop, like, frustrated, like, puts his bag in the trunk. He's like, all right, there you go. Come on.
Margin's going to get into the front passenger seat, and and wait for everybody else.
I'm driving.
Driving my car.
Yeah, get in the back.
Do I have to
Yes, get in the back.
put a water bottle?
There's
back
no
there
leg
for
room.
you?
Get in the back.
It is a.
It's a
Yeah,
two-door,
it's-
isn't it?
It's
It's a geostorm.
it's a Silverado.
Of course it is.
And he'll just like fine and just like hop over into the trunk with the bags.
And as we
Open the tiny window.
as we peel away,
Yeah.
Margin's
And we
gonna
peel
wave out the window, just A cab. That's what my niece taught me. I don't know what it means, but
All right, go Sox. Drive away.
Everyone in Boston has exactly one personality trait.
Go Sox.
listen, we're all stereotypes. We're all vessels waiting to be filled, and we're all stereotypes.
And so, yeah, you drive off. There's a couple of questions I have. Other than what's the conversation like in the car? Where are you going?
Where are we going?
Ooh.
Magnolia.
Where are we going? That's a great question. Where are we going? I
Your
call that
agents,
through the mini
You
window.
go to a city. You're assuming that you'll be here for a short while. You have the means to set up housing for yourself somewhere, hotel, something like that. This
Oh,
You know,
is
Magnolia
my assistant
already-
told me about these Airbnbs. Lifesavers. Love them.
No, we won't be doing that.
It's worth noting also that, as a reminder to all of our viewers, the cast I'm sure is well aware of this. Season 1 was 1995. This is 2015. You have smartphones. The internet is functional now. You could go online, find a place to stay. You could do that really quickly. And going forward, working the case, you can look things up really easily. You
Yeah.
can investigate
an
things
offering
to
here.
some extent.
Functional is the word I would use for 2015 internet.
I would make an offering here, which is that I think Magnolia, as soon as he got the invitation, found out where it was, he already booked a motel that was selected on the criteria of like being out of the way, having lots of easy exits in the case of an emergency, like, and being somewhere relatively off the radar. And it's probably, honestly, a fucking dive. It's a pay by the hour seedy ass motel that he is already driving to. I got us a place. Don't you worry.
You know, it's really bad. I looked up really cheap motels available just like tonight, and it's like right next door to where I live. I'm just like, oh no, I don't live in a good part of town, apparently.
Every town has at least that one. In my hometown, it's a place called the Rock Motel, which is, look it up sometime. It's a scary place, and that's basically where he's taking all of you now.
What's the conversation like in the car? This new agent just sort of that you haven't met before just kind of strolled up and is and really sort of like flexed her confidence on this cop, and now you're all headed off to what you presume is the same birthday invitation that is scheduled for the 1st, so in a couple days.
I don't imagine I have much to contribute while we're getting out of the city on 95 or anything, but once we're on residential roads, so open up that mini window again to contribute in case there's anything y'all need to talk about in private.
So how do you gentlemen know Mr. Zaloni?
I have no idea who that is.
That's not what I'm asking you. Not really.
What are you
How do
asking
you
me then?
know Mr. Zaloni? How long have you two been friends with Mr. Zaloni? What kind of work have you done for Mr. Zaloni?
Are you okay? Do you need like a glass of water or something? I don't know. You know, Mr. Zaloni's not real, probably. Right?
Oh, God. Oh, goodness. Okay. I'm asking you, how long have you been an agent? What kind of work have you done? What is your connection to Delta Green?
In the future, it behooves oneself to speak plainly when among other agents.
In the future, it behooves oneself to be more clever. What do I know?
Not a goddamn thing from what I can tell. What are you doing here?
Here to work.
All right, what's your deal?
Well,
Everybody's got a deal. What's your thing? What
I
can
think
you
I
do?
asked you that first. You're just not clever enough to pick up on that. Do keep up, darling. Mr. Maltese? Was it like the dog? Oh, so cute.
Sorry, what's that?
His hair's all fucking blown back from the highway.
It's like the little bit that isn't shaved on the sides. It's just like standing up.
Not the aviator. Oh my God. I know
Well, it's just from the.
I know his head is huge. Moving on. Anyway, Mr. Maltese, you sweet thing. How long have you been an agent? What kind of work have you done? What brought you into the fold?
Fires mostly.
Wow.
I help fight fires. Sorry, we not supposed to say that?
He said
Noble.
fires.
Noble.
Fires. Well, you know, building recovery stuff and, you know, people. We had a Princeton job a while back. That was new for me.
He's right. We had a job in Princeton.
What kind of job?
The Delta Green job.
It was a mask. It was real fucked up. One of our buddies got scorpioned. Sub-zeroed. I get mixed up. All the masks look the same to me there.
In fairness, they're just palette swaps of the same character.
What?
That's the word, palette. Oh, smart guy over here. No, his spine got ripped
Spine
out.
ripped out. That happened. Well, there was another agent who was on the job. His name was Agent Maury. He had his spine ripped out.
Oh, well, that's honestly a self-fulfilling prophecy, isn't it? Memento Mori, gentlemen.
What?
No, I didn't take any mementos from his body. Wait, maybe take a vertebrae or like a tooth or something?
Memento Mori. All remember, you will die, or remember, all men die, or whatever you want to kind of translate the Latin. It's honestly a little bit more complicated than one might think when you're looking at the different definitions and dialects and translations. And honestly, it's quite fascinating. And like, I think for the rest of the drive, Margin just goes into a deep dive about the semantics and linguistics of dead Latin.
Oh. After you like take a breath, he's like, "Oh, you're smart. That's your thing."
I'm assuming it's
I
not
get it.
yours.
Oh! As you say that, he slams the brakes and fucking Maltese's head like goes through the window. And he's like, "We're here."
Come on.
And he's already getting out of the truck. Already parked.
What the fuck, man?
Maltese gets 1 point of damage.
I think I tasted my tonsils there.
I like your truck, Maltese. He throws his keys to Maltese. I like your truck.
You arrive at a motel in, oh gosh, it seems to be kind of like a lower working class district of Boston.
South, well, 2015, Southie, yeah.
Yeah, it's like on one side of it, there's a Family Dollar. On the other side is an abandoned building.
There's a Family Dollar on one side and a Dollar General on the other side.
There you go.
And in tribute to the one from my hometown, may I make a motion to call it the Stone Motel?
Stone Motel, got it. The person at the front desk checks you in. How many rooms are you getting?
He paid for 2.
Yes. And
I know I'm about them.
and Margin takes the keys, both keys for one of them.
So Margin takes the key cards for one room. And when she does, the woman behind the counter, who is sipping on a Dunkies, has a cup of Dunkin' Donuts coffee, and says, "Oh, I'm sorry. Did you two want a single bed or a double?"
So a double would be preferable.
Oh,
A double
I
will
mine
be
was
required.
Sure. Yeah. Well, that one's a double. There you go. Number 19. Don't leave the windows open at night.
I'll buy it. Why should I not leave the windows open at night?
Well, I mean, obviously, security, but also bugs.
Bugs.
Yeah,
I'm more concerned about the bugs.
it should be.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome. And she sort of gives this flirty smile at Magnolia. He turns and walks away without reacting. And you walk down, you open the room, and there's one bed. I'm using a villain point to make it a single.
You mother. Also, executive decision said every time Magnolia exits the scene, he does the Mass Effect BioWare style exit, where he's like, "I will turn my entire body and walk away."
And so you settle in.
You got to be fucking kidding me.
Do the three of you do anything with the intervening 24 hours? We'll say it's around 8 p.m. You got 24 hours until you're scheduled to be at this place. Is there anything else you want to do? You can talk with each other. You can start the investigation early. You can snuggle.
Ooh. I'm going to absolutely pour over this invite. I'm going to just deep dive and see if there's any thing or information or.
What are you looking for specifically? Are you looking for like some words in there? Are you looking at it from a a physical thing? Are you like looking at the paper and stuff? Are you?
Now that I'm actually looking at it more closely, and I'm actually looking at the actual thing.
Yeah.
The left-hand corner is peeling off.
So it would seem.
So I'm going to rip it all the way off.
Okay. So yeah, I mean, you don't even need a roll to realize that this invitation, which seems to be like kind of expensive heavyweight paper, apparently it's got this weight to it. It has a heft to it. Like it weighs more than you think it might. But yeah, it does look like it's layered. And so you find that little corner on yours and you start to carefully peel it apart. I feel like there should be some sort of check here to make sure you don't rip it.
Yeah, that's fair.
How about
criminology?
I take forensics.
Okay, yeah. That makes more sense.
Do you have any forensics?
I do. I have forensics and I have science, specifically mathematics, but
forensics would work here really well.
Shut the fuck up. That was a failure by 1. Rippity bippity, literally rip.
You have hero points. I don't know how many we got.
Oh yeah. I'll use a hero point.
Okay, go ahead and re-roll it.
Okay. Worm.
Worse.
It's fumble. You go to remove it, but you end up just like completely ripping that top sheet.
You see, you see Margin's whole body freeze. Just, and she like rips it apart. Like, damn it!
But
just a full body shake.
You are able to realize that not only is this layered, but under very close examination, there's something else written on the layer below the first.
Okay.
And as long as that top layer is wrecked, might as well keep on peeling. So you sort of take this paper frame. It's like somebody wrote something and stuck it like it's behind the first one. There's only 2 layers. But as you peel it off, you start to get a better look at what's beneath. And I am going to put this on your board.
Yay!
So you can look at it and see what it looks like. I'm going to put in, man, they changed some stuff in Roll20. It's not as smooth to show things to you. But here's what it looks like.
Nothing will be as smooth as the mask.
There is
Nothing could ever be.
a long paragraph written on this page. And I'll read it for you, and just so everybody at home can see it, I'm also going to put it on the board here so I can see it.
I'm screaming
The board
already.
de Merder.
Doc, I'm
Their
screaming
board.
already.
Here's what it says. Our London business is good. And keep in mind, this is in a different handwriting than the invitation itself, which appears to be more calligraphy-like, but maybe handwritten. This is also handwritten, but in a different handwriting. It says, our London business is good, but Vienna and Berlin are quiet. Mr. D. Lloyd has gone to Switzerland, and I hope for good news. He will be there for a week at 1496 Zermatt Street, and then goes to Turin and Rome, and will join Colonel Perry and arrive at Athens, Greece, November 27 or December 2. Letters there should be addressed King James Boulevard, 3580. We expect Charles E. Fuller Tuesday. Dr. L. McQuaid and Robert Unger Esquire left on the YX Express tonight. Now, all of that is sort of like bland and weird to begin with, but then you see it. In the bottom right-hand corner, there is a gold embossed seal. It has this strange symbol on it. It looks like maybe some sort of body or being with a large Templar cross in the middle holding like a rake or something like that. And all around the outside are the letters P-U-R-S-O-N. Person. Now I need your character to make me a sanity check.
Do we hear the trumpets?
I'm waiting for her to make a sanity check.
That's fair. I'm sorry.
I got a success.
You don't take any sanity loss, but for reasons that we don't know, this symbol is familiar to you.
Yes.
And for those of you who were part of the last investigation, will remember that this is the seal of Person, a demon. A symbol identical to this was found on a linen sheet tacked up in Abigail Wright's apartment in 1995. At that point, a large buzzing noise starts going off, and you realize that the smoke alarm in your room is activated. It's just going beep, beep, beep. Continues.
I'm going to very quickly take the chair that's always in like a room like this. I'm going to push it underneath. I'm going to grab one of the pillowcases. I'm going to rip it out, and I'm going to try to wrap it around the fire alarm.
We'll say next door. That's where the room is that the boys are in, the men's. You hear her smoke alarm going off. And Maltese, a smoke alarm is going off.
I was trying to flip through the channels to find the game because the Mets are playing Atlanta tonight, but
Right.
shockingly, this fucking Stone Age civilization does not have access to the finest sports team in the land. But as soon as that kicks, he's gonna head over and you see a very authoritative. You all right in there?
I'm fine.
What's the alarm for then?
I was straightening my hair. This woman fully has braids.
Ma'am, all due respect, that's not what those things go off for.
Once I finally have it wrapped up, I'm gonna crack the door open a little bit and just, I'm fine.
Do you want me to check? There is a fire alarm going off. It might be that. It might be a monoxide
This
detector.
place is older than all civilization. You actually think that there is anything in this building that works properly?
And as you're saying that, in your voice, the volume of your voice is rising, Margin, and you're like, nothing at this place works and like just before you get to the end of the sentence, the fire alarm stops, the smoke alarm stops. And so you're yelling into silence.
See? It's fine.
I think this would be a good chance to try the opposed roll mechanic. Because we rarely used that last season. So basically, I'm going to have Turk, I'm guessing Humint, and Persuasion live. Just see. So the way this works is they're both going to roll, If one succeeds, the other fails. Obvious who succeeds. If both fail, the shit. I just sent it to you guys, and I forget what it is. If go ahead, Turk.
I remember if we both succeed, it's whoever's closest to their current skill number.
Right, whoever's the higher number rolled. If you
Yes.
both fail, it's the lower number rolled that succeeds.
Okay.
Basically, yeah.
All right, so let's roll
ready?
those rolls. Yeah, let's go. Let's
Say it's
go.
August 30th, by the way.
It's the day before
31st.
September 1st. Is it the
August-
31st or 31st?
31st. There's the 31st.
Let's
New
do it
York
on
Mets are
August
playing
30th.
Philadelphia.
On August 30th, the Mets were playing the Red Sox, though. That's so.
Oh. Eat shit, dude.
I didn't look yet, but I assume that Liv won.
I have a
I got
failure
a
of 83.
4% out of 51.
Uh-huh.
Liv crushed it.
Yeah, she seems fine. It was probably just a false alarm.
All right, just let me know. All right, I can check it out. I dealt with plenty of faulty alarms for. Folks.
All the intensity smooths out of Margin's face, and she says, "You're such a good boy. You're so sweet. Are you single?"
I mean, yes, but they don't see what I'm.
Okay. I'm gonna close the
I love it. I love Margin. Okay, great.
Kind of standing up there in the.
Can I have a scene when you come back to the room, Maltese?
Yeah, well, let's start with that. Maltese walks back into the room.
And okay, two things strike you immediately. One, in the time that you've been gone, Magnolia has taken over like the desk in the room and has just laid out a lot of weapons on the whole top of this desk is covered in various firearms and knives. And maybe plastic explosives. You've never seen them before, but you think those might be C4.
Yeah, I've seen movies. They just go and close the door really quick. What the hell are you doing, man?
And the other thing is that when you come in, he's standing there like he's waiting for you to come back, and he's studying your face. And he says, "You look," and then there's a much too long pause as he tries to decipher human emotion. Confused.
Yeah, the fire alarm was going off, in new friend's room. What was it? Margarine? Margin. Nice and spice.
I was waiting for Margarine. I was waiting for Margarine to slip out.
But yeah, so Marge's fire alarm went off. I just went to go check, and
And what?
it's fine. It seems like it went off out of nowhere.
She okay?
Seems fine. I mean, she's just a sweet old lady.
She doesn't look that old.
That's why I
Black
said
don't crack.
old and
That's sort of what I was getting at, but yeah.
I would never say it to her face. Of course, I would never use old if she were around. But she's just a sweet lady.
Margarine.
Cut back to Agent Margarine.
That's
Um,
funny.
Agent
What's-
Margarine, who is like a 75-year-old white woman, old granny type, just the biggest little fucking beehive.
Liv will be
of
playing two
Somewhere
characters
else.
this season.
Shopping. No, let's go back to Margin instead of Margarine. What's Agent Margin doing when we go back to her room?
I'm trying to find what made the fire alarm go off.
You look around. No, there's nothing burning. There's no smoke. There's no dust in the air.
I pick up the piece of paper that I had like freed from this invite. I'm gonna rub my thumb over the seal.
The seal has this slight texture to it, where it's just a little bit raised in certain places. What's your forensics score?
My forensic score is 20.
Make me a forensics roll at plus another 20.
Okay. I've got a fucking failure. We got
Yeah, you're-
98.
You can hero point that.
Okay, cool. Thank you. Success, 39.
Woo, right there underneath it,
Mm-hmm.
as you sort of rub your thumb over this seal, with which you're familiar. You've thought about this before.
Yeah.
You're looking at the writing on the paper. This string of nonsense words, details about business in Europe and stuff. And it takes you a little while. You realize that this is a request exemplar. And as a writer, maybe that's why you're familiar with it. You have to research lots of different things. It is something that's used in criminal cases to compare someone's handwriting.
Mm.
It is like a quick brown fox type of
Yeah.
thing where it uses all the letters, all the numbers.
Oh. So this isn't actually a letter. This isn't like really. This isn't supposed to mean anything. It's just supposed to.
It's just this string of words, but the question is why? And
Yeah.
why is it attached to this invitation? And why, of all things, is the seal of Person down
Right.
in the corner?
Do I recognize the handwriting at all?
You do not. It doesn't match the handwriting found
On any of my research?
What was it? What was the question?
Oh, I was gonna say it doesn't match any of the handwriting I've probably run across in my research.
No. I don't believe so. No.
Okay.
Yeah, it's strange. Like the stuff in the front has this calligraphy style to it, but also, as you're looking at it, and I'm guessing maybe back in their room the boys are looking at it too, looking it over once in a while. It has this sweeping, looping style to it, and in some places the letters are just kind of off kilter or
Yeah, it looks
tilted.
seasick.
Yeah. And it's done with precision, but messy precision, if that makes sense. And it's done in this black print ink. On the inside, it looks like somebody wrote that note with a blue ballpoint pen.
Hold on, sorry. Which room are we in right now? Are we with?
Still split.
We're in our room, and you gotta
Over
you
the
gotta
boys.
watch.
Are you looking at the invitation as well?
Maltese can, if you'd like.
Geez, you've got a little bit of forensics, right?
Yeah, oh yeah, no, I'm actually pretty good at forensics. I think during one of the commercial breaks, just opens up the message and does start like accidentally kind of like runs a thumb along the corner there, and oh, 1 second, and I got 40 forensics, so.
With your 40 forensics, the first thing that you pick up is that the writing on the front, like you've sort of toyed with this before, forensics and forgeries and things like that. You could guess that the person who wrote the invitation, and again, you just know about the front cover for now, is right-handed, probably male. It also has some training in calligraphy, but it's weird. It's tilty. It's kind of off. And then as you run your hands over it, you also see that like there's some loose corners here and there, like it was hand pressed together with glue.
Hey, Mag, you got one of these too, right? Invitations. Oh, good.
Yep.
Because he's gonna try and start like fitting a nail in between.
You don't want yours anymore?
No. There's something glued here. Someone glued something to the back of our papers. Well, at least mine. Maybe I'm special. And I'm
Start healing
try
it
to open it.
apart slowly. I want to make you roll for that. We just sort of take some time for you to like wiggle it. And
Yeah, give me a blow dryer. Just
sort of,
he says that, but then does it. Then runs it over and does it himself, and the room is filled with as he's like slowly drying extra glue apart.
after a while, you-
Magnolia's like holding a pistol in one hand, just waiting for you to be done because he's been trying to give you a weapon briefing this entire time. Let me know when you're ready.
So Magnolia watches as Maltese removes the front, and inside you find almost the exact same thing. A letter with this strange paragraph written on it with like travel details or something like that, and this weird stamp in the corner. It looks like a gold foil embossed symbol of some kind.
That's weird.
What's weird?
Pulls it up. Oh, look at this. It's a whole second letter.
Hmm.
It don't make any sense, but
Doesn't look like anything to me. That was for your Westworld fans out there.
I mean, but it's like written differently though. I mean,
It's not the same handwriting.
well, like he holds up the other half. Look at it. They'll have
Yeah.
just from
Clearly
Make
not
it-
the same.
Okay. That is very strange. Question is why.
I don't know. I'm asking you.
I would like. I'd like a search roll from somebody who's closely looking at this. So probably not Magnolia,
But
but either Margin or Maltese.
I will roll.
I'm actually not bad at search.
I got a 60. Yeah. So one or the other,
Oh, fuck me. Okay, word.
or
Both.
both.
Go ahead, both let her rip.
All right, let's see.
Oh, so fuck both of us.
Maybe my big dumb dude will
Yeah,
come
let's
through.
go.
Oh
There it is,
shit!
Tommy. There
So
it is.
he's like barely
Not
paying attention.
this. No, I'm protesting. I do think I am. I think we should go on strike.
Does this feel too much
Should
like
I
last
use a villain
season,
point?
Liv?
No. So
He's
here's
like barely paying attention. He's like cleaning a pistol and it's like does one of those like, wait, and then just takes it from Maltese's hand. Let me see
Right.
that.
you look it over, and you're looking over the front page of it with the calligraphy on it, with the details for the invitation. And it takes somebody who can stare through things to notice this. But this is what you discover as we get ready to end this episode. You look closely at the wording of the invitation. It says, join us to celebrate the birthday of the 51st birthday of our friend Richard Zaloni, blah, 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 blah. And as you look more closely, you realize that at certain points throughout the invitation's wording are little dots above letters. And I'll leave you to make of that what you will. Not that one, Elsie. The first.
On the other one. Oh my god, it's H-E-L-P.
You start E. And as you sort of follow along, it says H-E-L-P-M-E.
What the
And that is
fuck?
where we're going to end our premiere episode.
Help
we will be back.
me!
Yeah.
Oh my god.
As with all good Impossible Landscapes episodes, we end with more questions than answers. And we haven't even gotten the briefing yet. We are going weekly this season. Last season, we went every other week sometimes. And hopefully we'll be back next week, unless I don't have a place to live, and then we'll figure something out. But until then, y'all keep watching Caravan of Cthulhu this week, helping raise money for NAMI, and just throwing money at a really good cause, and also just tuning in for some great games. I had such a great time on Tuesday. I know we have some more terrific shows lined up this weekend, and Turk and Hoop and I think Holly is doing one too, are going to just knock it out of the park. And so everyone should be hanging out for that. I gotta say, it's tough, like changing agents around, you know what I mean? And I was like, what are these new agents going to be like? Is it going to work? And I just loved it. Of course I loved it. You guys are fantastic. But next episode, we're going to have even more. We're going to have 2 more agents for a team of 5 for MCell. And so we hope that you can come back and join us for that as the plot thickens. Let's go around and we will talk about just any highlights you had. And of course, I've got some for you guys as well, but there were so many. Liv, we'll start with you. Lots of great margin moments. Yelling ACAB as you drove away.
You know, I had
most pleasant
was
voice.
fantastic.
2015, the revolution is starting.
And the other Liv moment I had for the week is I have plants. And just being able to like play out those scenes at the beginning with you. We didn't do enough of that last year of you and your bonds. And so you and your assistant, and that was delightful. And you're delightful. Who are you? What do you have going on? Where can we find you? Anything coming up? What's going on with Liv?
Yeah, absolutely. So, hi, I'm Liv. You can find me on all social media at Live in a Day. I guess there's not really a social media that I'm not on, although like how much I post is very questionable, even on my ex. X is an EX, X social media.
Our toxic ex. Yeah.
You
toxic
post
ex.
on your toxic ex.
Do you post on your toxic ex? Cut it for you, bestie. But no, seriously, you can follow me anywhere on social media at Live in a Day. I am a TTRPG performer. I do podcasts from time to time, and you can catch me over on Time Lord's Wife on Sunday playing the White Man's Game, aka D&D. I will
That colonizer bullshit.
I
Yeah.
tell you that spread to the gaming store that I work at now.
Good.
We all started referring to it as the White Man's Game.
Yeah, as you should. I'll be playing the White Man's Game. I will be playing Dungeons and Dragons, where I will play a barbarian on a dragon. So everybody should be scared. And by barbarian, like read it in the Barbie font. That's my whole
Barbie
character.
Berry.
Yes, Barbie
I
Barian.
love that for you.
Thank you.
That's fantastic. I'm going to watch that for sure. Please remind me. Send a tweet out or something.
And then I'm also on Mondays under the table over at Total Party Chill, where we are playing Wander Home. But otherwise, that's about it. Please check out one of my very good friends, Nala Wu Draws, is doing a TTRPG fundraiser stream for Maui. Their family is based out in Hawaii, and we should support one of the most... the history of Hawaii, but like one of our most vulnerable communities in the United States, even though she does not want to be here. So please consider, if you have any money left over from supporting this charity stream, NAMI, which is also a fantastic charity stream. I'm very glad that as a community that loves Cthulhu games, we are giving back to mental health causes. But if you do have money to spare afterwards, please consider donating to the relief efforts in Maui. Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you, Liv. Always fun playing with you. Let's go over to Turk. Turk alert. Turk, you had a busy week. Are you exhausted, man? Like, how are you not exhausted?
I'm gonna sleep real well tonight. My part in this is done, but oh boy. It's been a really fun week, but yeah, I'm going to enjoy my my few nights off of streaming.
You've earned it.
Oh boy.
You've earned it.
Yeah. Thank you. It's been real fun. Yeah. Intros and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, but oh wait, I got stuff for you.
Oh, outros. Oh.
Just you first. I'm not sure anybody else picked up on this, but I sure did, which is that Sweet Maltese comparing, well, you probably compared him to a golden retriever little dog, and then he rode in the truck bed. And that whole
I didn't even think of that.
That whole scene of you in the
Oh my
truck
god,
bed
him literally pulling the window.
was like, just the visual of that was a delight. And I can't wait. Also, this is an add-on to that. I can't wait for Cyberella to be here so she can draw those moments. Because, oh my gosh. And if you haven't seen these yet, Liv and Colin, I'm going to send you pictures of some of the sketches she did of our game on Tuesday with Princess Biscuits.
Yes.
And it was just so good. So anyways, Turk, I mean, you have this week. Do you have anything outside of Caravan of Cthulhu Week you want to promote?
Yeah, of course. I do want to give a quick shout out to the rest of Cthulhu Week. Just because tomorrow we have the festival, which is going to be DM by Hoop. Then Saturday morning we have Deal with Darkness, which will be a 50s game GM by Hoop. Because this is, I've done the first half. Now Hoop gets to do a bunch. Then at a Saturday night, we do have a game DM by Javante. It's going to be a modern Cthulhu. I've read the prompt and I have not delved further because I am intending to try and enjoy it as best I can. And then Sunday, we have Regency Cthulhu, and we finish off with Hoop running Night at the Museum, which should be a good time. But yeah, beyond that, I am in places and things, I swear. You can find me at Turk Accented over on Styling on my X or chilling out on Blue Sky. And beyond that, coming up, I do have Oathsworn on the 21st, which is also the White Man's game with dragons. So I kind of feel like I'm copying Liv a little bit, but I run that game instead of playing that game. So it is Greek mythology, high fantasy, smush them together. It's been a real big game. I've really enjoyed it. On 22nd, we'll be back here post Cthulhu Week. Hopefully, much more slept and relaxed, and we'll be playing Orbital Blues. And then on 24th, we'll be right back here.
For somebody who's been worked to the bone, you were great today and did a great job.
Well, I just got to be from Jersey, so like it's super easy for me.
Truly a highlight. I
That was
haven't
another
laughed
highlight for
that
me is
hard
the boys.
all week.
It's just
It's the boys. The boys.
Open it up to the whole
The
cast.
I
boys!
A whole 10 episode season of the fucking boys.
Just being the boys and being just a
Being
little
so-
bit weirdly homophobic and misogynistic,
but
but
also
just
very like
meatheads. Like
a little homophobic, a little misogynistic, but also kind of like a little homosexual. Like
I have a
Yeah.
little, there's
Oh, yeah.
definitely some tension there.
The homophobic homoerotic line is so
There's-
fine, but it's
and
there.
and
fine.
American teenage girls have thrived on it for 20 years.
and
Thank
we
you,
salute you.
thank you, B Cell, brother Cell, for your service.
The
Incel.
boys sell.
Boy Cell,
But yeah, we'll be right back here on Thursday.
You were still doing.
Bless you, Turk. Thank you, buddy.
No, but then we'll be right back here on the
Yeah,
24th.
we'll be here.
But support the people you're seeing your screen here. They're fantastic. And already, thank you so much for everyone who's been supporting Not Me. It means a bunch. And Poof Bait Cthulhu Week, such a huge success. There's so much more awesome stuff to come, of course, but this week has just been a testament to how awesome this community is.
And I'll add a little note onto that is that if you're just watching, if you just dropped in, don't forget to join the Discord. It is a very healthy community and good folks who just love playing games. And it's very much not, there's no other agenda there. Like we're just playing games and being good people and nice to each other. It's great. That's always nice to see that. Those are-
Oh, also,
Yeah,
sorry,
yeah.
one really quick thing. Just a reminder, we do have a raffle. If
Oh
you
my
put
gosh,
in
I completely
$10
forgot.
to
Yes.
the, you can
Mhm,
win
like-
things. There's a raffle, we including a Delta Green slip space donated so generously by Miss.
which has
Eichen.
both the
So,
agent's
Ah.
handbook and the
not this one.
handler's book.
all the things.
Turk,
you
can you
need
just show them the
to
agent's
survive.
handbook?
Yes.
Yeah, no,
Let's see the
close it
covers.
a
Let's see the
little
covers.
bit.
Look at that guy. You could be that.
Yeah.
You could be that guy.
You could be that guy.
We have that. We have Call of Cthulhu rulebook PDFs. We have custom dice made by Valia Ling, one of our community members, and we also have not just a custom bust and a custom full character art by one artist, but two. So we have 4 potential custom art spots by Cyberella Draws and Kuma, who are 2 very talented artists in our community. So a bunch of really good stuff. So if you don't want to do villain points or anything, just throw $10 into the pot and your name will be entered into the drawing for all of those prizes, which is just super exciting.
Hot dog. Thank you for reminding us of that. Yeah, I completely forgot.
Fine.
Yeah, just the raffle, the giveaway. Like, hey, Delta Green, you want to play Delta Green? You need to try, enter that raffle. These books are fantastic, and it's a great system and great fun. Let us proceed to Colin, my main man. I was
there.
I was telling Colin this at the break. It was I had forgotten. He had told me ahead of time. Of course, we were great about communicating and playing his peepaw as somebody who has Alzheimer's, and to trying to do that's in a non-comedic way, but also as some, like, I think a lot of us know people who have Alzheimer's, people who are close to us. But that scene organically turned into just a beautiful scene, like that really like showed that this monster has humanity to him. But there's a twist of like his peepaw is the one he tells about his murders to, and like just there's a lot there to unpack, but still just a fantastic scene, one of my favorites. I love this weirdo, and I can't wait to see what happens to him this season. Colin, what you thinking? What's on your mind?
Well, hold on. He's got to go away now.
Oh, take off the glasses.
All right.
Oh, thank goodness, my favorite.
It's Colin. Oh my gosh.
Hi, guys.
Oh, we missed you.
Yeah, I've been in a fugue state for 3 hours. So that's why I need Nami, everybody.
Mhm.
In truth, Nami is awesome. Nami legit saved my life. I'm serious. I mean, they are fantastic at connecting people with resources if you don't know the stuff that's in your area. And Nami got me through some rough times. So I love this charity, and I'm glad that we're donating to them. Magnolia is, not well. But I am loving this. So Turk and I talked about this prior to the season about how we wanted to kind of trade places a little bit from what we did last time.
It was a flip. It was a flip flop.
We did a total. So Michael in season 1 was the human rock, and I'm like, I want to try that now. I want to be the guy who's the man of few words thing, and but I also wanted him to be not a cardboard cutout, and I wanted him to be a real person, which is why when I created this character, like because of I can't tell you what it is, but because of the particular background I only got 1 bond, and he's just not a guy that has a lot of family or anything. I only got 1 bond.
Makes
And
sense.
because of some of the other things I picked, like it came up in the first thing that he's adapted to violence. He's also adapted to helplessness, which may come up at some point. Because I selected both of those things, both of those, if you pick them at character creation, massively reduce your bonds. So his bond with his only living bond is his grandfather, and that bond is a 5, which in Delta Green speak is like tenuous. It's hanging on by a thread. So I was like, how can I represent that in the story? And that's why I chose this, that his grandfather has Alzheimer's or some form of dementia or something like that,
Sure.
where that relationship barely exists anymore, because his grandfather hardly even knows who he is, but he is still clinging to what's left of that relationship, and he goes to see him. But also I wanted to do this thing where I thought about having Magnolia have some kind of so I thought of what's some dope shit that he can say when he kills somebody. That was like one of my things, and I was like, I thought about That's where the counting comes from. So I thought about like the religion angle, like maybe he says a prayer or something, but like that's been done. I've seen that so many times. I'm like, what if he just keeps count and that's just his whole thing? He just says, 96 when he kills somebody. And so he remembers everybody. But also I thought about that. I'm like, okay, he doesn't do the religion thing. Who does he talk to? Who does this guy does not
Who's his confessional? Yeah.
Who's his confessional? And I'm like, well, he's got this grandfather with dementia. That's who. He unloads all of his sins on his grandfather because he knows he's not going to remember it anyway. And it's this incredibly fucked up thing, but I just thought it was like really, really cool. And y'all, Justin is such a good improviser because everything I just told you, he knew none of that going into that scene. None of that. All he knew from my character sheet was that I had a grandparent like with dementia. That was it. Everything else I just told you, Justin didn't know anything about that. But he fucking ran with it beautifully. Justin's that good.
And thank God you've set up that in a relationship in a way that he won't remember it because I forget things. I'm not.
You're welcome.
So I guess Colin, you're the best. We love you. Do you have anything going on right now? Do you want to promote?
Normally I say no, right? But this time around I actually do. So well, you can always look at my company. That'd be nice. 6 String Games. That's the number 6 String Games. We have Anna and I both took full-time jobs, so we've been very busy. But we're trying to get more stuff out before the year's over. But as far as what I have going on personally, I actually do have another stream coming up, which is not something I do very often these days. But I really want y'all to watch this because it's going to be really, really, really fucking good. On September 2nd, which is a Saturday, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. I'm doing a stream for charity. It's an Extra Life charity stream over on our dear friend Valdrian's channel. Everybody loves Val. That is a Mass Effect game. Mass Effect is my favorite game series of all time. And we're playing the Mass Effect White Man's Game system. Someone made a Mass Effect White Man's Game hack, if you didn't know that. It's very good. They did a great job with it. There's no physical book of it. It's only available online, but we're using the Mass Effect White Man's Game, and we're like a rat tag pirate crew type thing, and I'm the captain, so like, what else do you need to know? Other than the fact that I am the captain, I am a Turian, and I am a crotchety, miserable old motherfucker. And
we love it.
One of the things we decided is that my character, his name is Aurelian, has fired every member on the crew multiple times, and I've kept count of how many times I've fired them, with the exception of one. There's one person who's never been fired. And if that's not Chekhov's gun, I don't know what is. So go watch it, September 2nd on Valdrian's channel, Mass Effect 5e. See the crew of the Myrmidon.
Fantastic. And I'll segue by saying that the next night on Val's channel for the same thing for Extra Life, I'll be running a game of Monster of the Week for a crew. Some folks that are familiar to us here.
But it filled up too fast because everybody wants to play Monster of the Week with you.
Well, I'll make Val open up an extra seat so you can play.
Fucking do it.
Yeah, why not? So come out. That's the 3rd for me. 2nd for Colin, 3rd for me. You can all come out. And then here every Thursday night. A couple of shout outs really quick before we go, because I got to go because Baldur's Gate isn't going to play itself. Big shout out to Elsie, who is running tech for us tonight and did a great job. And having her behind the scenes is amazing. Even bigger shout out to Agent Mori, to who
got his fucking spine ripped out.
who we were like, oh, 2 of the agents can't make it for the premiere, and blah, blah, blah. And we're like, well, it'd be funny to have like Hoop as an agent. We can have a Hoop as an agent and have him killed within the first like 15 minutes.
Red-shirted.
And Hoop's like, yeah, let's go. So we did. And all of us, I think, go in with the knowledge this dude's gonna die, like really fast. But it also gives this great traumatic bonding thing between Maltese and Magnolia, and a little bit of
I do want to commend us because we made a lot of jokes about it. By the time we actually got into the scene, I think we did a really good job of keeping it under wraps. Even the Agent Mori, like, come on.
Come on, guys.
Well, Agent Maroon's shirt was too obvious.
Yeah. Well, the nice thing is about working with a system, or I guess a campaign that deals with the King in Yellow and Sanity Loss, is that maybe Agent Mori will come back and visit you at some point or something like that. Wouldn't that be fun? Yeah. That's all from me. Oh, I'm Doc Grimbo. I've been your handler. I use he, she, they pronouns. I'm here every Thursday night. And I just love this game. I've been looking forward to this for so long. So thank you for coming by and watching. We'll be here every Thursday. Come back. And right now, we are going to get ready to go jump over to Neon Lights roleplay. Hopefully, they're still going. And we're going to do a raid. So everybody hang tight and say hi to them. And until then, bye-bye. Mwah, mwah. Blow kisses. Go Sox.
Nice.